Well, what Travis doesn't know is, like the Hulk is always angry, I'm always ready for him to wrap it up and take this bad boy over. This is the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. If you want to join the conversation with us tonight, 503-248-0620 is that telephone number. And, of course, you can go on over to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there where Han in King City says we're going streaking. Again, that's right, the Blazers pick up another victory. This one a little more impressive than the previous two as they take down the Memphis Grizzlies 115-99. And let me tell you what I love about this is that there were some things we said in the pregame show that the Blazers needed to do to get a victory. They were our keys to the game. What was one of our keys to the game? For those of you who listen, rebounding. I said they had to attack the glass because they got absolutely destroyed by Memphis last time they played them. Well, guess what? They obliterated Memphis on the glass tonight. 65 rebounds for your Portland Trailblazers, 16 of them from Denny Avdia. So just an incredible night on the glass. Memphis managed just 40 rebounds. I also said they needed to find a way to keep those assist numbers down because Memphis had 35 last time they played. Memphis just had 23 assists to the Blazers 25. And lastly, they had to find a way to score the rock, right? They had to score because the Blazers had yet to surpass 100 points against this Memphis Grizzly team this year. Meanwhile, Memphis averaged 128.5 points in those two victories over the Blazers. Well, the Blazers, they did surpass 100. Obviously, they got to 115, and they held Memphis under 100 points for the first time this season at just 99. So a good performance all the way around. And you know what? I get that Ja Morant was out, but this is still a good Memphis team, man. They got some good pieces there. Jaren Jackson Jr. is absolutely phenomenal. Blazers were able to hold him to just 14 points tonight. And again, you knew this team was going to test you with or without Ja. You've seen them with and without Ja. So you knew that it was going to be a tough game regardless. And I think you got to give the Blazers points for stepping up to the plate and knocking this one out of the park. Taking a look at the box score, Jalen Wells, he had 2 points for the Grizzlies. Jaren Jackson Jr., he had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 6 points for Zach Edey to go along with 3 rebounds. Desmond Bane led the Grizzlies with 20 points, 6 points as well for Luke Kennard. On the Memphis Grizzly bench, Scottie Pippen Jr., he had 18 points and 16 points from Santi Aldama, who was 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. I like Aldama. He's a very good bench player. I like him a lot. But the Blazers, again, were able to shut them down, get things going. Denny Avdia, 31 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists, so a darn near triple-double for him. 15 points for Tumani Kamara, 7 points, 11 rebounds, 3 block shots for Donovan Clegan. Shaden Sharp, 17 points. Anthony Simons, 22 points. 5 points for Scoot Henderson. It was a very off night for him. 2 of 10 from the floor. He did have 5 assists. Didn't play in the fourth quarter. Anthony Simons, you got to give credit. I thought his defense tonight was incredible. I asked Coach about it after the game, and he said that hey, he's been working really hard on that end, and all he can ask for, and all he asks for is just effort. Give me 100% effort every single time, and that's what he's doing. I loved Ant the way he was fighting through screens, putting his body into players. He's not a lockdown defender, and Coach even said that, but he's giving you effort and makes it so that he's not as easy to target, basically. And I got to give him credit for that. I love the work he's put in on that end. And a great game from Dwapari, 13 points off the bench, hit a couple clutch threes for your Trailblazers. Oh, yeah, and Jake, I missed you last time. Show me your blazer. There you go. I got you. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. We'll head out to Lawrence, who's driving home right now. Lawrence, welcome into the fifth quarter.
Fond of Chauncey, and I said, man, kick some dirt on those ref shoes like Lou Piniella used to do and get your ass kicked out of the game. But, the other night I talked, and I got to talk with Chad, and he brought up the grace of Chauncey and how he's putting this team together. And you know what? I bought into that, and I took a close look, and I said, we may be seeing the genius of Chauncey now that nobody believed in back then, and I'm really liking the team that I'm seeing today.
Well,
so we were at the game. I had my two grand boys.
Nice.
Just dropped them off, and what a great win.
Absolutely, Lawrence, and thanks for the call. And you know what? Like the whole Chauncey thing is here. He has been easy to target. Right, we've done it all year long. We've called him out when things were bad. We've called him out when things are good, because there seems to always be something about him, whether it's good or bad, right? But you got to praise him too when he does things right. And I do think that this team has turned it around on that defensive side of the ball. They're buying into what he wants, and this feels like a much different team in the second half of the year than it did in the first half of the year. And that's not all just on the players. I think a lot of that is on coaching. So again, I have no idea where the future is for Chauncey and what they decide to do and all that. You know what? They're going to deal with that in the offseason, and that's for the high-ups to decide, not me. But I'll tell you what Chauncey's doing right now, you do have to give the man a little bit of credit, right? And some people want to just be so mad at him and not like him that they don't want to do that no matter what. I just think that's crazy because he has these guys locked in, playing great, and defensively – They're a good team, man. And Joe Cronin deserves credit, too, for what he's put together. Because guess what? Y'all love Tumani Kamara. Y'all love Denny Avdia, right? Like, you got some guys here that you absolutely love. So, yeah, it's great. I get what you're laying down. And you know what? If you can come around, Lawrence, then I think a lot of people can eventually come around. And I think people are starting to come around. And I think even the people who are coming around aren't saying that necessarily maybe he's the guy or any of that. They're just saying, you know what? Kudos, dude. I think you've learned and turned it around just like the players have, which is exactly what you want to see, man. So, yeah, I appreciate the call as always. If you want to jump in like Lawrence did, 503-248-0620 is that telephone number. Of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio as well, where Air Weldon says Dwop really showing out. And, man, Dwop has been great, man. He has been he's right there with Chris Murray for me. As in like a guy who is he's just always ready. He's just always ready. There's nothing that he does again like exceptionally well. I mean, yes, he shoots the three ball, but if you look at his numbers, it's not like he is a crazy good 3-point shooter. He just hits them when you need him to. But the point is like he goes in, he plays defense for you. He'll get you rebounds. He's been getting some block shots lately. He'll hit those shots. Like he does everything you need him to do. Right? And I love that about him. It's why I've absolutely praised Chris Murray all year long, man, because Chris Murray can go from a DMP to starting and playing 30 minutes, and he's going to give you his absolute best effort all the time. Not a great shooter, not just a great mover athletically, pretty good defender, right? But what he lacks in that athleticism or that shooting, he just makes up for not making a lot of mistakes. And I absolutely love that from him, man. And it's so nice to see Dwop doing that same thing, man. And again, I think that's one of those culture things and locker room things. So you can credit to coach and the team. Just everyone's ready. And what more can you ask for some of these guys? I mean, Dwop is a guy who's been down in the G League, and he's been up, and then he's been down, and then he's your fourth center, and now he's your second center due to injuries, and he's just ready to go. He's just ready to go. Again, like Air Weldon says, Chris is a lunch pail guy, right? Absolutely, he's the current Ed Davis, right? Lunch pail, hard hat. At halftime, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into the locker room, opens up his lunch pail, eats a quick sandwich, has juice, comes back out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Chris Murray in a nutshell, man. And again, Dwop's doing the same thing. I've been thinking about Dwop a lot lately, actually, because every time I watch him, I'm like, is Dwop Reith like quickly ascending the ladder of like all-time Blazer legends in the fact that like they could do no wrong and they will forever be loved in the city of Portland, right? Like Portland tends to love those rotation guys, or even those like their starters who aren't great, but they're your starter, but they just do stuff that you just love to watch, and they just become a legend. You'll never forget them. Joel Prisbillas, right? Ed Davis will forever be loved in this city. Like, why can anyone pick like one play in their mind that nope, it's just because he was just there and he busted his tail and he didn't complain and he was the lunch pail guy. Hard hat, lunch pail, clock in, baby, get to work. I feel like Dwop is climbing that list of dudes you just like. Dude you just like. I don't know about Ha-Seong Jin. Ha-Seong Jin is now a YouTube megastar, though. Look him up. But yeah, that's That's wonderful for those guys. That is wonderful for those guys, man. And I think everyone's taken notice of what those guys are able to do, right? That's what they're able to do. Whoa. Keith says Portland tends to love bad starters who could be great as bench players. What are you talking about? I didn't say that. I did not say that. I said those guys who are like they're good, but they're not like making all-star games or anything. Like Joel Brisbilla was good, but it's not like he was the best center in the league. But y'all love the Vanilla Gorilla, right? You love him. I love him. Steve Blake. People like Steve Blake, right? Travis Outlaw's up there, I think, for a lot of people. Ed Davis, like I said, just a goat. Like those are the type of people I want statues for. The guys who will just forever be legends. Never did anything wrong. Never ran afoul of anything. You just love them. Love them. Love them. I need to start making a list. But I do feel like Dwap and Chris are starting to get on that list just a little bit. So if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. We'll cut to a break here real quick, and when we come back, we'll hit you with our shot of the night and our drive of the night. Plenty of more coming up. Again, you can join the conversation with me over on YouTube, youtube.com. Type in Rip City Radio. Join the chat there. Chris Burkhardt here with you. This is the fifth quarter presented by Coors Light on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620. Yeah, that Keith Feltner Smith guy. I don't know what to say about him. He's kind of a crazy loon making all these comments. Oh, I didn't realize I was still on YouTube. Sorry, Keith. Got him. He's probably not listening. He's probably listening on the radio only, so it doesn't even matter. Darn it. Keith's my guy, Trailcaster's co-host, whenever he actually wants to record a podcast with me. He will be joining me here in a couple weeks, actually, at the end of the season. He's going to be joining me on Courtside Monday, so that'll be fun. That'll be fun. But what else is going on in the YouTube chat? Let's. I'm assuming you're talking about Chris Murray. If he moved less awkwardly, he'd be dangerous. Yeah. See, Keith is just anti-Chauncey, right? I love my guy, but he's anti-Chauncey. Like, a little credit to Chauncey is not the same as giving him credit for all that's happened. Like, I mean, he deserves credit, man. He deserves credit. He is the coach. This thing is turned around, and there's a lot behind the scenes that he's doing, man. And he deserves that credit. I'm not giving him. It's not like he's the sole reason, but as much as people want to beat him down, you gotta call it how it is. And when he's doing well, which he's doing right now, I think you gotta give him some credit for that, man. It's the same thing I've been on with DA, right? Like DA, I've picked him apart. You guys know that. I've picked him apart left and right all year long. And prior to that injury, those last few weeks, he was incredible, and I praised him because he deserved it. So that's just how I roll, man. Han in King City asks, Klingon or Edey? Who do you got, Chris? Well, tonight it was Klingon for sure. Zach Edey is good, but man, I think there's more to Klingon. I don't know. Like Edey, I don't know how much better Edey's gonna get. That's my question with him. He's big and he can rebound and he makes it hard for you to get around him. But I don't know what his ceiling is, or if it's much higher than it is now. If it's not much higher than it is now, then he's still a quality big. I'm gonna give him that. Donovan, I got to give a ton of credit though. I think he's actually improved a ton this year, especially with getting the runs lately. The big thing with him, and Edey does a better job of this, is he just needs to play big, man. He needs to play big. There's so many times during this game tonight where he had a chance to just throw it down with some ferocity, and he just goes up light and it gets blocked, or he gets a little bit of a rim check, yeah, or it's in and out. I think like old school, like Shaquille O'Neal, right? Dwight Howard. Like, you're down low, you're 7 feet tall, you are huge. Get that ball, jam it, slam it. You're gonna always get the jam, or you're gonna get fouled. That's pretty much the two options in life, right? That's what I want to see from Donovan Klingon. But you asked me, Han, I'm still taking DC over ZE. DCZE. There we go. All right, I'm going to go away for a second. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. Shout out to the YouTube chat. So I was talking to YouTube for a second during the break there, and it's everyone's like, "Is there an alarm going off?" You hear that if I stop talking? You hear that? And I said, "No, that's not an alarm. That's a leaf blower." And they're like, "What? A leaf blower inside?" Well, let me tell you what, my friends, the riddles of an NBA arena when you haven't been in here when they're doing the turnover. It's how they clean the aisles, man. They just go down the aisles with a leaf blower. They blow all the debris and everything to the end, so it's all in one big, nice, easy pile to get rid of. So there you go. That's not an alarm. It's a leaf blower. We got lucky, Shacker. We didn't get the leaf blower coming in early in the show last time. They're here a little early. They're turning this bad boy over. We got a concert coming in here tomorrow. So here in a little bit, you'll start hearing the NASCAR drills, right? As they're taking down the seats and getting them taken apart. And I know I've shown you guys that you turn the camera behind the scenes. The leaf blower is not currently in eyesight, but I know that sound. That's exactly what that is. So y'all, you're learning something today. You're learning something today. So we're having some fun. All right, let's head out to the phone line where we have Chuck in Scappoose. Chuck, welcome into the fifth quarter. What do you got for us? He did it again! Stop it, Shagger! And then Victor just laughs. That's twice he's got me. Victor, what do you got for us, bud?
Well, I couldn't change my voice, you know. I was trying to change my voice, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Your voice is too distinctive. You gotta work on a real good voice. You're gonna fool me.
Oh, all right, man. I'm really flabbergasted, you know, Chris. Believe me, because you know the Grizzlies are so dangerous without the John Moran. They're gonna pull you, you know, Chris. They're gonna pull the teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They say, okay, John Moran is gonna sit down and no, we're gonna lose because you know they can't fool me and they can't fool you, you know, because Grizzlies are a very tough team, you know, and you know with the John Moran they play different style of game, you know.
Yeah.
With the John Moran, Chris, excuse me, with John Moran they play a little bit slower, you know. But without him, they play more physical and faster. That's my observation, you know. And then, you know, Chris, last night, the Grizzlies lost by 10 points to Sacramento. And compared Portland to Sacramento, they had a lot of veteran players, you know, Laxovin, you know, the Rosen, Sabonis, you know, they have many experienced players. In Portland, what we had, the only veteran we had was Simon. Only one veteran player, Simon. And we beat them by 16 points, man, more than Sacramento. What does it say about this team? They're cruising, man. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too, and thanks for the call, Victor. As always, Brian chimes in on YouTube, though. He goes, did he change his name to get by the screener? No, the screener is Michael Shacker, and he tries to pick on me and see if he can get me to just like I'm like Ron Burgundy. Like, well, how many times do I have to tell you? Whatever you put on the prompter, Ron will read, right? Well, Chuck and Scappoose. He got me. He got me. But to your point, Victor, let me tell you what. I know you got to be excited, man, watching Anthony Simons. You said be the only vet out there, and he did. He had a good game today. Did everything you needed him to do, and was incredible. And I really do think he has shown some improvement on the defensive side of the ball. Absolutely, I think he has. Is he a lockdown defender yet? No, he is not. But he has shown improvement on that side. And what I love from him tonight in this one was the effort. The effort was there. He was fighting through picks. He was bodying defenders. Even when he gets the mismatches, he does an incredible job trying to get through that, especially when you consider that he used to be far more of a defensive liability. And as Coach said post-game, you know, that's something that he didn't like. He didn't like that he was being hunted, and now he's trying to be better on that side of the ball. And he's not a lockdown guy, but he knows that he can make people work on that end. All right, we're going to take a quick little break here on the post-game show. This is the fifth quarter presented by Coors Light. If you want to join in on the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. See how many more people from Scappoose are going to call in. Thanks, Chuck. That was awesome. And, of course, you go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the conversation there. This is the fifth quarter presented by Coors Light on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Yeah, the opening song got through. That's all right. No intro. Yeah, I think the opening song got through, but, you know. All right, YouTube. I was talking to Shacker for a second. Now I'm going to talk to you because look at this. Look at this. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to come back on screen. All right. Oh, don't worry, Jackson. We're going to talk about that next segment. But here we go. Okay, ready? We're going to get ready. You're on a roller coaster. See way over there? Way over there? Those two guys? Can you see what's in their hands? Probably not. That's far away. Those are the leaf blowers. I didn't lie. They're right there. See? Burkhardt's telling you. Oh, there's more over there. There's at least one. Maybe they'll come over here. They'll be loud. But see, there you go. Now you know. The secret of the alarm that isn't an alarm. Just a leaf blower. See, I wasn't even lying. Brought evidence with me. I brought evidence with me. Yeah, you guys are too fun. This is what we live for. The behind the scenes content. All right, this is the real behind the scenes content. You ready for this? This is there's old Michael Shacker, and there's his awesome computer screen that got busted. We've done this before, but look, we got 2 minutes till we're back. There's all your commercials. That's what the board looks like. Show this. Link phones. Yeah, and no phone calls. 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Have some fun. There you go. That's what a radio production looks like. Behind the scenes, baby. Behind the scenes. But yeah, Air Weldon. I've been to so many events there and never experienced that. Well, there you go. Oh, see, the leaf blowers are getting closer. They're getting closer. They're going to come this way eventually. They're right there. Like two sharks. They're circling the boat. They're coming in. We'll time it out just right to start playing Chauncey because it gets loud when they get close by. See, that's the bad part. I prefer this spot next to Shacker because it's just so easy. It's seamless. Right? And you're inside the bowl. That's where Travis and Chad do their show too. They're just 2 sections over. But you get the leaf blowers when you're in this section. But if I'm up in the 330s, I'm by myself, and that's kind of boring. That's not iHeart. That's not iHeart to blame. This is that's Shacker's personal monitor because he likes. He has like 2 computers there, and he's like, you know what? 2 screens was enough. I need a third. So he brought a third. It's on him, and then he broke it. That's not an iHeart problem. That's a Michael Shacker problem. Uh-oh. That's There you go. Hey, the important parts of the screen are working, so that's all good. That's all good. As long as he can get us on air, we're good. What's Sean say? I think he has done great so far, but this team isn't quite championship level. To deem him successful this offseason will be key. Moving vets and we're talking. I think we're mostly talking Cronin there, so not a problem. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in about 10 seconds. I'll comment on that for you. Bye. Chris Burkhardt here with you. It's time now for the Coach's Corner. Let's head on down to the press conference room, hear what Coach Billups had to say following this victory over the Memphis Grizzlies.
I would say the most important thing that we talked about that was hitting first. You know, I talked to y'all in the last 2 times we played them. After the first 6 minutes in the first quarter, we were down 18-6 and 18-7. And that's the type of team that when they get you down, they can really, really get away from you. So I thought our start was great. We focused in on the start of the game and, you know, being the aggressor. We're trying to hit first. We knew that we needed to rebound. That team crashes more than anybody in the league. We had a huge night on the glass, big-time night on the glass. To me, that was where the game started, you know, and allowed us to kind of get a cushion knowing that they was going to make a run at it. You know, they play so fast, they make you make a lot of mistakes. I thought we stayed locked in even when we made mistakes. And obviously having a big-time defensive fourth quarter was huge for us, especially when they came out very aggressive in that third quarter. I thought they stalled our momentum in that third quarter. But, man, we did a really good job in the start of the fourth.
In the limited losses, you also really didn't have someone who forced into action on offense. You didn't fall behind tonight. Denny, 26 in the first half, was that guy. Can you talk about this play?
Oh, man, Denny was incredible in that first half. He really was. Just the force, that he plays with, it has you on your heels, and he's able to finish. And when it's 3-ball, which has been cooking, 3-ball is going, it's just a very, very difficult cover, and when we play fast, we rebound and we kind of get out there and just kind of hoop. He's dangerous, he really is. And I thought, we hopped on his shoulders in that first half, and then I thought they picked up their details on him in the second half a little bit, and he did the right thing. He made the right plays. He made the right passes. He still was aggressive. Knowing that they was going to be loading up on him, I thought he made some good reads.
What did you think about you guys' defense on Triple J? I mean, you looked kind of frustrated out there in the fourth quarter. I mean, what do you attribute that to tonight?
Pay attention to detail. He's obviously a difficult cover, with his size and his handle, his shooting. We paid attention to the scout and what we wanted to do on him. And, obviously he got away a few times, but not very often. We put a lot of emphasis on trying to keep him under control. It's a tall order, but we did a really good job of that. Everybody that guarded him, they made some changes and so they could have DC guarding him. I thought DC did a really good job, but we were also ready to help, if he got by DC. So we were just really focused on that, and we focused on him. We focused on Bain. Thought two did a really good job, and Chris did a really good job, and everybody that guarded him. So I thought one of our most complete games, wire to wire.
7 rebounds tonight for Shea. I know you've been kind of on him really the whole season about wanting to do stuff besides scoring. Have you been happy lately with kind of some of the other stuff he's been doing?
I have. Again, like, this team is really, really difficult to guard and to play against with the speed and pace that they play with in the full and half court. I thought Shaden's alertness was really good. Couple mishaps, which they all had, which they make you do that. But I'm always on him about going to get those tough grown man rebounds because there are not a lot of people in the league that can go get those where he goes to get them at. I tell him we need it, man. We need it. You have to impact the game that way, and he's been doing a really good job of that. I thought Shaden played a good all-around game as well.
Coach, defense has always been big with you, and it seems like Ant has really kind of tried to focus in on that and the way he's fighting through screens, getting into his man. What can you say to what he's done on that end of the ball lately?
Yeah, I would say that for Ant all year. That's one of the things that we talked about over the summer. Is we knew teams are going to attack him. He understands, he knows that. He hates that early in his career he allowed it to happen. So he's now saying, I know they will, but I'm going to be ready. And he just competes his butt off, man. Whether it's in ISOs or screens, he's fighting through, and all I ask him for is just give me 100% effort, man. Give me all you got there. And Ant's not a lockdown defender, but he's also becoming a guy that you're going to think twice about attacking him, knowing that he does have some physical gifts there. Just use them, and then rely on your help. I think he's done a really good job all season.
Alrighty. It is time. Hey, time now for a game ball. Who deserves the game ball tonight? Yeah, that's a pretty simple question, is it not? Like, the game ball has to go to Denny Avdia. A darn near 30-point triple-double, 16 rebounds, 8 assists. He could have had a few more. There was just a couple missed shots. I don't know what his potential assists were for the night, but man, he 100% gets the game ball tonight. I thought he was incredible. He was incredible tonight. He has been so good all year long. Him and two of the two best Blazers, and it's great to see him have another solid game, man. And he's only getting better and better. All right, if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number, where we head out now to Dan in Northeast. Dan, welcome into the fifth quarter.
Thank you, Chris, and what a great game tonight, man. That was awesome. All about hustle. I think this game was a great example of a game where the box score just doesn't tell the story. Like, you look and the Grizzlies shot 27% from three, and you're like, well, they had an off night shooting. That's not it at all, man. They were not able to get into their bag. It was all about hustles. So many of the threes that they put up, they had a hand in their face, or they just weren't able to get set. We didn't allow them to get comfortable in their offense, which is hard to do. Like, they've got a lot of good players that know how to win. They got a lot of vets who know the system, but we were just active and hustling, getting into passing lanes. We lost the turnover battle, but I'd really like to see the stats on deflections, because it just seemed like we're just making them uncomfortable from wire to wire. It was really, really encouraging to see. I thought Donovan played a great game tonight. He stayed out of foul trouble, and with him too, like, his numbers, it shows 3 blocks and X amount of rebounds, but so many cases where he blocked out Jaren Jackson Jr., allowing Denny to get a board or whatever. Like, he's playing within what the team needs him to do, and it's terrific to see from a rookie. I think the sky is the limit for him defensively. I think he can become a really important part of what we're trying to build here. And I'll just close by saying, you started talking about Chauncey and the difficult decision that the front office is going to have to make about him. And I don't know what they're going to do, but anytime, this isn't the first time that we've wondered what direction the Blazers are going to go coaching-wise. And every time, it's so easy when the chips are down to blame everything on the coach, say, well, the coach sucks, we need to fire that bum and get somebody good. And I feel like a lot of the time we don't ask, okay, fine, we'll not even debate that. Who are you going to get that's better? Like, you're not getting Pop, you're not getting Spoelstra, you're going to get some assistant who comes from a good organization, but we don't know if they're going to be better. You're going to get somebody who's a question mark, and I'm not saying that means that Chauncey's the guy and that we should commit, a 4-year contract or whatever, but I will say that, like, when I watch away games, I listen to a stream or whatever, and so I listen to a lot of the other teams' announcers, and consistently they always call out the fact that we're down 8 with 4 minutes to go, and every time the announcers are like, man, these Blazers, they just do not quit. They play until the buzzer. They just do not lay down on you. They're going to fight the full 48. And I think it's easy for us sometimes as fans, for any fans, to kind of take that for granted. But we'll never know how much of that is Chauncey. But I will say be careful what you wish for, because whatever else you might think of his decision-making and substitutions and all that stuff, all the X's and O's, he absolutely has those guys playing hard, playing the right way, playing to win, playing as a team. And I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that you're going to get that from any coach. I think an element of that is absolutely the philosophy that Chauncey's installed in the team. And there's value there. I don't know if it's enough to, commit long-term to him as a coach, but he's got him playing great right now. Phenomenal win. Rip City, baby. I'm out.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. And thanks. I like all your points there. I want to start with one that you mentioned early before you got on to the Chauncey rant. I'll get to that too. But you mentioned how Memphis shot poorly from three-point range, and it wasn't necessarily because they just had an off-shooting night, right? They were 18 of 46. Excuse me, that was the Blazers. That's right. Memphis was 8 of 30. And the point you made was so good, because how many times did they get an open look? Dwop was closing. Klingon was closing space. Yes, they picked up a couple fouls on those shots. Like I know that Reith had that one on Desmond Bane, but there was always a hand. There was one possession in particular, Dan, that I was watching, and it was incredible because the Blazers just moved, and at one point you saw like Shaden jumped to the guy in the corner. He threw the ball out. Ball got all the way to the other corner. Scoot comes running out of nowhere, flying through the air to try to get a hand. Like there was all-out effort. There was always a hand in the face. And to your point on that, yeah, I agree. That was good defense, a good effort tonight on that end. Made it hard for Memphis, so you needed to do that. Great point. And then, yeah, on Chauncey, I think one thing that you bring up that not a lot of people talk about is what the other broadcasts say about him when they're watching, and the fact that they're pointing out the Blazers' fight and the scrappiness, to use a Coach Billups' word. Like they're taking on the identity that he has kind of preached and wanted for a very long time. Did it take longer than desired and longer than you want? Like, yeah, like I get that. It absolutely has. And I think that, sometimes too, you hate to say it. It sucks that it's in year 4, but Coach is learning some things too. He learned from his mistakes late in the New York game, the very next game against Toronto, and admitted to it, right? And he hasn't been in those positions a lot. So, I give him praise for that. Now, I get everyone wants to clown on him and, poo-poo him and, to each their own. But if I'm going to poo-poo a guy, like I've said this before to you guys, I'm going to give him his props when he does things that are good, when he shows that he's improving on that and doing some things. And I do think that that he's doing better. Yeah, the leaf blowers, I know. I'm just going to have to start doing it up in the Pines. They got early here tonight. Sometimes they get early, sometimes they get late. I don't run the leaf blower schedule, okay? I do not run the leaf blower schedule. It's also louder, Keith, because they're right in front of us now. They don't care. They don't care. Stinking radio, guys. We're just going straight on to the leaf blowers. I got to turn this thing around, I got to turn this thing around. Thanks for staying with me, though. Thanks for staying with me. I'll stick it up in the Pines next time and have some fun. But we're going to get out of here so that you guys don't have to listen to the leaf blowers anymore. But we're going to have some fun again on Friday. Blazers taking on the Denver Nuggets for classic night, right? A little bit of love to the 90s NBA Finals team, so that would be really cool. Game's tipping off at 7. And coverage will start at 5 o'clock. Brendan Slaughter will have Blazers game day for you. I will be gone again. I'm going to be at OSAA Dance Championships. But guess what, guys? Last game I have to miss of the year. You guys are stuck with me for the rest of the year. Also, Air Weldon. Shacker, you need to see the YouTube comments. Air Weldon, we need a studio in the 100-level concourse. It's needed. Needs to happen. Shacker agrees. Fans, start the petition. The Paul Allen apartment, which I've shown before, that needs to be the official Rip City studio, right up there, just above the Pacific Office Automation sign, next to the Canadian flag. That needs to be the official Rip City Radio inside Moda Center studio. Or the 100-level concourse. I'm down with that. But for the awesome job that Michael Shacker did tonight and the boss man Chad doing, I'm out of here. Brendan will have game day for you on Friday. Have a good one. Rip City, you guys, as always, have been incredible. We'll talk to you on the next one.